Hello, my name is Jessica Dallaire Clark, and I am the Senior Coordinator for Open Access Development at ARUD. As ARUD and CRKN work towards renewing our partnership for open access, I was invited by the Content Strategy Committee to prepare this video for CRKN members to explain how our partnership supports open access in Canada. In this video, you'll learn what the POA is, how it fits into Coalition Publica, and then I'll show you some data about how it supports Canadian OA publications. So what is the POA exactly? It is an initiative that enables open access publishing in Canada by providing financial support to non-commercial scholarly journals from library partners, and it is based on a direct collaboration between many actors in the Canadian research ecosystem. The POA is an expression of the global movement for diamond open access that is building a collective, equitable, and robust path for the dissemination of knowledge. Last year, the POA supported the publication of over 2,000 articles in immediate open access, and it currently supports 243 non-commercial Canadian scholarly journals, of which 162 already publish in immediate open access with a Diamond OA model. This is possible through the support of 93 partner libraries across 3 national library consortia, including CRKN, and all without the payment of a single APC. We're very proud that the POA is turning 10 years old this year. With this track record, it is clear that the POA is a tried and tested approach to sustaining open access in Canada through its support of the active scholarly journals on the ARUD platform. The POA is also a pillar of Coalition Publica's support program for Canadian scholarly journals. So let's talk about the POA in the context of Coalition Publica for a moment. Coalition Publica is a partnership between 2 Canadian organizations, ARUD and PKP, who came together in 2017 to form Coalition Publica with a mission to support a transition to sustainable open access, build open infrastructure for scholarly publishing, as well as for research, with a focus on journals in the humanities and social sciences here in Canada. We are pursuing this mission through our support program for Canadian scholarly journals. We provide digital publishing infrastructure and services by combining PKP's open journal systems, which in Canada exists in a distributed environment, with journals often hosted by university library publishing or journal hosting programs. Across Canada, there are over 40 university libraries hosting more than 400 faculty-led journals. Out of these, over 120 journals are currently participating in Coalition Publica. The other half of our infrastructure is ARUD's centralized dissemination platform, where we've gathered an impressive collection of over 150,000 scholarly articles and where we provide the technology to ensure that this content and its supporting metadata can be efficiently fed into library systems. And the POA is the third pillar of our service offer. It provides the financial support that journals need so that they can continue their editorial activities in the context of open access. We're fortunate that Coalition Publica is supported by government funding for the operation and maintenance of our infrastructure, as well as for our services for journals and researchers. These grants help to cover staff salaries and other parts of our overhead, which helps us keep our service fees affordable. However, these grants only represent a portion of each of our overall budgets, which we complement with other sources of support. Some of that additional support comes from libraries. Libraries support PKP through sponsored development, membership, institutional hosting with PKP publishing services, and through programs like SCOSS. PKP uses financial contributions from library to support the development of its open source, i.e. free, software, including OJS. It also uses library funds to provide online support services, which are, again, free through its community forum, documentation hub, and PKP School. Libraries support ERUD through the Partnership for Open Access with CRKN. 30% of the POA stays with ERUD to support library services, including technical services such as proxy access and counter-compliance statistics, client services such as support and troubleshooting, as well as financial administration with invoicing, reports, etc. 70% of the POA supports the Canadian scholarly journals disseminated on ERUD. Neither of Coalition Publica's grants provide money directly to journals, meaning that the POA is the only way that Coalition Publica supports journals financially. 70% of the POA goes to journals. Currently, out of the 243 journals supported by the POA, 81 embargoed journals receive POA funds based on their self-attributed subscription fee. So the amounts we redistribute to them range from a couple $1,000s to over $35,000 with an average payment of around $9,000. The 162 Diamond OA journals all currently receive the same amount, approximately $3,500. Because of the ongoing shift of our collection towards Diamond OA journals, during our next agreement with CRKN, we are planning to bring in a new system that will distribute POA funds using the same equitable calculation for all journals. But let's stop and consider this number for a moment. $3,500, the amount our Diamond OA journals are currently receiving from the POA. This is an annual amount, per journal, not per article. Does this amount reflect the essential service that Canadian journals provide to the research community, or the tremendous value that the POA has delivered for CRKN members? While you consider your answers to these questions, let me show you some figures that demonstrate how the POA has already had an outsized impact on open access in Canada. To begin with, since its inception, the POA has assisted 34 journals to flip to OA and has helped us increase the number of Diamond OA journals on the ERUD platform by a whopping 275%. And these trends are likely to continue as we add more vetted Canadian journals to the platform and as federal and provincial journal funding programs implement immediate OA requirements for their funded journals. By the end of our next agreement in 2029, this graph will show a significant acceleration of the adoption of Diamond OA by the Canadian journals on ERUD. Another way that POA has delivered incredible value is in the number of researchers it has supported. Between 2015 and 2022, over 11,000 unique researchers from CRKN institutions authored or co-authored at least one article in a journal disseminated on ERUD. And when you look at the number of articles in that same period, almost 12,000 research articles and reviews were published by first authors affiliated with a CRKN member. As you can see, the trend over time has been that more and more articles are being published in immediate OA. As of 2022, the majority of CRKN authored articles were disseminated on ERUD in immediate OA, and I'll remind you once again, this was without payment of a single APC. But how does this stack up against other publishers and platforms? When comparing the number of HSS articles by CRKN affiliated first authors, ERUD rises towards the top of the pack despite our relatively small size, outranking MDPI, Cambridge, Sage, and Wiley. In conclusion, I'd like to underscore that CRKN member contributions to the POA are an investment. They are an investment in a scholarly publishing ecosystem that is open and trending towards Diamond Open Access, Canadian, and sustainable, providing great value to libraries and researchers. Thank you very much for watching this video, and please feel free to email me with your questions. I'd be very happy to hear from you.